All right. So just like our usual way, like our culture, I would like to start with a little bit of introduction about Techlytics, what we do in the next 2 to 3 minutes. So, and we'll get to the a training call proper. So please permit me to share my screen while I make the presentation. Sorry, please, can you see my screen now?
No, it's not up yet.
Okay. How about now?
No. Okay, it's coming up.
All right. Thank you. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. So let me just give you a brief introduction into what we do at Techlytics. So Techlytics is a technology workforce development and consulting organization, and we are dedicated to empowering ambitious professionals and businesses with the essential skills needed to thrive in the ever-evolving world of technology. So with a strong focus on preparing professionals for the future, we have successfully trained and mentored educational technology institutions and corporate settings such as GSK, Usiva, Enova Lab, Tredford, and Eco Innovation School. So we specialize in training programs such as data analytics, product analytics, low code and no code development, and artificial intelligence. So we have the EdTech part of Techlytics and the consulting part of Techlytics. So what problem are we trying to solve? We are trying to fill in the skill gap that evolved as a result of COVID-19 and trying to help individuals and professionals upskill their technical and non-technical skills. What is our attraction? We were formerly known as the Rainmaker, where we dish out tutorials on Excel in our YouTube channel. And after that, in on February 25, 2022, we came up with the name Techlytics. So now we have had over 800 sign-ups. We have we've completed over 33 lectures. We have more than 153 active students and more than 200 subscribers on YouTube. Like I always say, please subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have a lot of tutorials there that can be beneficial to you. So who are the people that work at Techlytics? We have Uluwatayo Wikunle, who is the founder, Jedida, who is a product manager, Abiodun is a product manager, myself, I'm a data analyst, Oreoluwa, who is our social media manager, and Timothy, that is our graphic designer. So on today's masterclass, we are going to be looking at how to revolutionize our data cleaning process with Power Query. And I'll be the one taking you through the masterclass section. So what are we going to learn in this class? First, we are going to learn about the role of Power Query in the analytics ecosystem. We are going to learn how to launch the Power Query from Microsoft Excel. We are also going to be learning how to navigate the user interface of Power Query. We are also going to learn how to connect to different data sources by using Power Query. And finally, we'll be learning how to use Power Query to clean and transform our data for analysis. So let's talk a bit about Power Query. So Power Query in Microsoft Excel is a powerful data connection, cleaning, and shaping technology tool. So basically what it means is that Power Query actually performs 3 roles. That is to extract, to transform, and to load data. That is primarily what Power Query does. So to streamline data preparation and cleaning, okay, data preparation and cleaning consume extensive time. In fact, it has been stated that 90 or 70% of a data analyst job requires data cleaning. So a data analyst spends around maybe 50%, 70% of his or her time cleaning the data. The time it takes to actually analyze data is even smaller than the time it takes for you to make sure that your data is in a clean form for you to analyze. So, and that is what Power Query wants to do for us, to be able to clean that data in a way that is seamless and very easy. And another good thing about it is that you can even save some of your queries and use it on subsequent data sets. So what is the role of Power Query in the analytics ecosystem? Just like I said earlier on, I said Power Query is used to extract, transform, and load data. And the loaded data, you can load it into a data model. You can load your data into a pivot table, pivot chart. You can load it into Power BI reports and the rest. So Power Query is a Microsoft tool that is available in Microsoft Power BI and also Microsoft Excel. So with the modern analytics ecosystem, Power Query is the tool that is used to extract, transform, and load data. This process is called the ETL as this class section proceeds. Then you can transform it to suit your needs and load it into your data model to perform special or other analysis. But for this for this section, we are only talking about the cleaning and the loading, the extraction and the transformation. So this diagram is only showing how you can work with Power Query. So the author is you, the data analyst. So that's your raw data. You get it into the Power Query to transform it. Then you can move it into a data model, and from the data model, you can actually take it into your Excel canvas, which is the pivot chart, tables, and cells, or you can transform it. You can also take it into your Power BI report to visualize it. So what are the benefits of learning Power Query? Like I have said earlier, it reduces the time you need for data cleaning and preparation workload by half. At times, it's even more than this half. It eliminates errors while editing in spreadsheets, reducing the need for cut, copy, and paste and the like. Then you can get your information to your audience faster because your data cleaning process is faster. This Power Query doesn't require you to learn how to write any code. It does not require any code. So it's a no code or low code experience. It gives you a very low code or a no code or a low code experience. Then it helps you to eliminate repetitive manual data cleaning steps. It helps you to focus more on insights and drive actions. And it helps you to connect to different types of data sources seamlessly. So what are the common data cleaning? All these things, we are still going to see it. We are going to have an answer section where we are going to see how we can use all these things and look at it. So what are the common data cleaning in Power Query? So there are some of the challenges is that you can actually combine multiple files from different folders. So what do I mean? Let's assume you work as a sales analyst, and in your company you receive sales data on a monthly basis, and you have a folder where you keep all these sales data. So you can do it in such a way that as your data are getting into your folder, it automatically, Power Query automatically picks it up, cleans it up, and helps you add it as part of your data you use for data modeling. Then it gives cross-tab format. It helps you to unpivot and pivot your data. So what do I mean by this? From rows to columns or from columns to rows. There are some data that you see, you know that no, this is not meant to be a row data, or this is not meant to be a column that a data that will be on the column. So you can actually unpivot using Power Query. Then, like I've been saying, you can use it to clean and format your data. Use it to prepare your messy data for analysis, and also you can use it for data enrichment. That means you can add columns that are not present in your data source. For example, maybe you have a column where you have date, and your date contains your day, month, and year. But the only thing you need in that column is just the year. So you can actually split that particular column and bring out your year and you can do away with the other ones. So let's explore the Power Query user interface. At this point, I would like to open my Power Query so that we can see it, or maybe I should just complete the presentation, then we can now explain some of the things that I've presented here on the lab. So to get started using Power Query in Microsoft Excel, you have to know where to find it. And where do you find it? You have to launch the Power Query editor. So don't let me, I will talk about this later. So because you might not really understand it just talking about it like this. So, okay, so let's see the Power Query user interface. So practically, this is how the user interface of Power Query looks like. And it consists of 5 key user interface. The first one is the ribbon menu. The ribbon menu is just like what we have in Microsoft Excel, where we have our home tab, our data tab, and the rest. So in this part here is where we have the ribbon. Then we have the query pane. The query pane is this other side I'm highlighting, and this is the part where you have the data that you have loaded into your Power Query. This is where you can see it. You can actually group your queries. You can have multiple queries there, and so that is what the query pane is for. But then we have the formula bar. The formula bar is where you type in your formula. It's worthy to mention that, when you are writing formulas in Power BI, you can use 2 formulas. You can use M language and you can use DAX. But for Power Query, you only use M language. So that is what you use for Power Query, and it's very simple too. Then the fourth one is the preview, where you can see a preview of your data. And lastly is the query setting, where you can change anything that you don't want on your queries, or you want to correct anything, the name. And this is where you see all the apply steps that you can apply on your data. Every changes that you have made, you are going to be seeing it on the apply step, and is on the query setting. Then how do you import your data? We are still going to look at this practically. Like I said, you can import data from Power Query from multiple sources. So you can have from Microsoft Workbook, like Microsoft Excel. You can import from a text or a CSV file. You can import from an XML. You can import from JSON, from databases like SQL, from Azure, from Power Platform, and the rest. So you can actually, it gives you the opportunity to import your data from different data sources. So it depends on what you are using. For this section, we are going to be importing Microsoft Excel and from Microsoft Excel and the CSV file. So what are I think I've said this already. What are the common transformations that can be made in Power Query? Like I said, you can remove blank or empty rows if you have them in your data. You can do cross tab formatting, pivot or in pivot. You can clean and format your data. That's by removing your columns or rows, removing duplicates, replacing values, using the first row as header. You can split your columns, you can group by, you can change your data type. And also, you can enrich your data by using the Add Column tab, where you can add columns from examples, from custom column, and from conditional column. Please, I want to be sure that I am not too fast. You understand what I'm trying to say. Please kindly give a show of hand. Let me know that we are together and I'm not just talking to myself. All right. Thank you, Mandu. So I want to believe, all right. Thank you for Lashade. So I will just proceed. Thank you. So I'm still going to talk about our upcoming data analytics class coming up next weekend by God's grace. So, but let's get to the business of the day. So let's get to the hands-on. So the first thing you are going to be doing when you want to launch your Power BI, your Power Query tab is just open a new Excel tab. So I'm going to open a new Excel workbook. Coming. Okay. Okay. So I think I have one here. So to launch your Power Query user interface, the first thing after you have a blank workbook like this, there are different ways to do it, but I choose to go through this way. I can also tell you about the other way. So you open your blank workbook and you come to your data, especially when you are importing data from other sources aside from Microsoft Excel. So you come to your data tab here and come to your get data. So it depends on the source that you want to use. So if you are using Microsoft Excel, you are going to be choosing from here, or CSV file. If you are using a SQL Server, this is where you go from. Then we have the Azure Data, Power Platform, and other sources that are also enormous. So, but because my data is a CSV file that I want to be importing, I'm going to be choosing from text or CSV. So I want to locate where my data is. Okay, download. I pick my data. So this is a preview. So I have the option of, probably if I just want to load my data directly into Microsoft Excel, I want to transform it or I want to cancel. So this is useful, especially when you are just importing your data from other sources. So you can just come here and load to. So let me just, okay, we are still going to see that. So, but because we want to transform, I'll click on transform. And my data is now in the Power Query editor interface. So like I said, this is what I explained earlier. This is the ribbon. This is the formula tab. This is the query settings. This is the query interface, and this is the preview that I spoke about the other time. So in the Power BI, in the Power Query user interface, we only have just 4 tabs or 5 tabs. The Home tab, where you have a lot of activities that you can do, like removing columns, splitting, appending, and the rest. Then we have the Transform, where you can actually transform your data. You do a lot of your data cleaning here. So you can transpose, you can change data type, you can split, you can group by, and the rest. Then this is the add column, where you can create column from examples, you can custom column, you can change your format and the like. And this is your view. So this view is basically for you to see some of how your data looks like. So for example, if I uncheck this, okay, and I uncheck this, so okay, so if you look at this now, if I want to know how is the quality of my columns, I can easily check from here. I'll come to the view tab, then check the column quality. It's telling me valid 100%, error, no error, empty, 0, valid 100%, error, nothing, empty. So you can actually see the then here you can see under this code valid 87% of our that is missing. So and also get to know that from here. Then column profile that can give you a quick show of what your columns look like. So assuming you have, you can see a quick analysis of your data. Let's assume this was a value column. You could see how there are different. So let me pick this. Okay, you can see this. So you can see how your values are distributed along your rows. So that's what that is for. So let me uncheck this. So to our first task in this data, there are times when you have your data set and you see the way it is. Your column is showing column A, column 2, column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of it to be showing these headers, country, indicator name, this 2000, 2001, I believe these are years, 2003. So, but you have column 1, 2, 3, and 4. So to make sure that first row acts as header, the first thing you are going to do is you as header. And you can see that on my app. So then from there, when we look at our data set, when we explore our data set, we realize that there is something wrong here. And one thing I can first notice is that look at the way we have these 2000. So, okay, let me give you a brief introduction to the data set. The data set is the current health expenditure of different countries in the world. So how much of their, what percentage of their GDP do they assign to take care of their health, for their country's health? So that is what the data set is all about. So we have different countries here, Africa, different countries, Afghanistan, we have African West and Angola and the likes. So, and these are the various amounts of money. Oh, okay. Someone is saying the audio is not loud enough. Please, can you confirm if that is general for everyone or that is just for Agnes, please? Please, you can unmute so that I would understand that.
For me, it's loud enough, but it's kind of breaking in between.
Oh, all right. Okay, please just give me a second. Let me try and keep some of the noises out. Just a minute, please. Okay. Sorry, Agnes, is my voice loud enough now? Is it better? Hi, Agnes.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right. Is my
Thank you.
voice better now?
Yes, it is.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so I would like to make this year's column. I want them to be on the row column. I want them to be on the row. So I'm going to unpivot this cell. So to do that, what do you have to do? Like you can see, I have from 2020, from year 2000 to 2021. Yes, I have data from 2000 to 2021. So what am I going to do to make my analysis easy? So when you want to do something like this, you are going to select the columns that you don't want to apply the cross tab format on. So, and for this, I'm not using the country and the indicator name. So what you just do is that because you want to select multiple and press the country and indicator name. So when you right click, you see some options here. So like remove column, that is when you want to remove the columns. Remove other columns. That means you want to remove all the other columns aside from the two that you have selected. You want to add new column from examples. Do you want to remove the duplicate? Do you want to remove errors? Do you want to replace value? Do you want to fill? Do you want to change your data type? Do you want to transform? Do you want to merge your columns? Do you want to create a data type, group by, unpivot column? So for here, what we want to do is that we want to unpivot other columns, because these are, that means apart from the ones we selected, all the other ones are what we want to unpivot. So you click on it, and when you do that, you see that our data that had almost, I didn't count the number of rows anyway, but I'm sure we had over 13 rows, if I'm very correct. From 2000 to 2021 is already 21 rows. So 22, 23, 24, we had 24 columns. So now that same data is now 1, 2, 3, 4. We now have just 4 rows. So, and like I said earlier, look at how the data is now looking. It makes your data to be compact, and it will make your analysis to be easier. So when we are done with that, you can see my apply step. I've recorded the fact that I unpivoted other columns. So my job is not done. It's now giving me the column name as attributes. So what I need to do is that I need to change it. So, and to change it, what I just have to do is I'll click on the name. So the name attribute, I'll just click on it twice. I can take it out and put in the new name I want to give, which is here. And then I'll press the enter button. So you can see my apply steps have said renamed columns. So now this my year is in text, because these are the format of my data. Where you have ABC means that your data is a text data, is the data type is text. Where you have 1.2 means that it is value. So you can have other data types which depends on the kind of data you are working on. So for example, if this was a O number, I can change it and change it to O number. If I want this in percentage, I can change it to percentage. So because this is not actually correct, I'm just trying to give an example. So now, okay, I've changed it to percentage, and I realize that no, this is not what I want to do. I don't want my data in this position. So in Power Query, there is no undo button. The only undo button that you have is to come to your applied steps and take out that particular you don't want. So I'll just come here and I'll close it. The moment I close it, my data goes back to the way it was before. So I now come, okay, I want to change this to currency. You can change it. You want to change this to text, you can change it to text. So, but because this is the right data type for this particular column, we are going to leave it as is 1.2, which means decimal. So anytime you see 1.2 on your header, it means you are working with decimal. When you see 1, 2, 3, it means O number. When you see a currency sign, it means your data type is currency. When you see something like a calendar, it means it's a date. So that is just what it's all about. So from there, your role as a data analyst is also to ensure that, okay, when you are working on your data, you ensure that there are the things that you need that you are working on. So there are some things that you just realize that, do I really need this column to be available on my data set? So you can remove those columns. So when you look at this indicator name and you scroll down, you realize that everything in this data set has the same thing. Everything has the same value in this row. So really, you don't really need this column. So one of the things you can do is just to come here, click on the column, right click. So you can come here and do remove. And you can also do that from your home tab, where you can also remove your columns. But I think it's actually easier doing it from here. So you remove. So I don't have that particular column in my data set again. Another data cleaning step you can make with this data set is for you to make sure that you trim or you clean your data set. But I'm not going to apply the clean now. Hello, can you hear me?
We lost you for
Hi,
some
everyone.
seconds.
All right, thank you. All right. So if you look at this column name, it's saying country and you have CDE. So from here, you can see that that maybe this is the country and these AFE other codes that are just the codes of the country. So basically, they want it to be country code. So how do you do this? How do you ensure to have your country on a different column and your that different column? So we are going to be applying the same text to column in Microsoft Excel, but here it's called split column. We are that just select the column you want to split and come to your, you can find it in your transform too anyway, and click on split column. So it will ask you, what do you want to split by? You can split by different things, by the delimiter, the number of characters, position, lower to uppercase, uppercase to lowercase. So it depends on the kind of data you have. But for this data, I think the best is for us to split by delimiter. So I click on delimiter and it will ask me, because Power Query is very intelligent. It has already looked through my data and realized that, oh, I have a slash there, a forward slash, and that is a very good way to split the data. So I just come here and click. Yeah, very good. So now it has split. I have the codes on, have the country names on another column. But if you look at it, the names that it shows to have. So I'll come here again, renaming. I'll just click here, double click naming anyway. Let me just say that. Rename. Well, I like the easier way out. Country. Then we'll come here to, we can rename from here and change this to country code. Press the enter. So the other time when we were checking our data, so we are still going to look at it again, whether those empty cells are still at them because of the way our data set presented itself. So you can just check by coming down below your header. When you hover around it, you can see the condition of each of your columns. So this one is telling us we don't have any empty, no empty, no empty, and no empty. But assuming the data we are working with have empty cells and you want to work on them, you can either just click on it, right click. It will already show you here that remove empty or remove the empty. Then you can remove it or you can replace whatever you don't want there. So another data cleaning that can be applied on our text data especially is what we call clean and trim. So to clean and trim your data, you click on your column, you right click. Majority of what you have in your tabs, you right click and you come to your when you come here, you click on trim. Is that it helps us to remove any that is in our data set that we don't need. So I can do it for the two, for the two texts. So I can come here. Let me go from transform again. Format. So trim. So it will help you to take out the excess spaces Then you can also clean it. Cleaning helps you to take out characters that are in your data set that you might not ordinarily even see. So when you come here to your transform, you come to your formats and you click on trim, on clean, I mean. So it will take out any character that is not non-printable character in your text string. So after no other cleaning that is required for this particular. So, and like I said, all you are, oh, I think I have done some. So, okay. So, I think I clicked on that step. So, from here, if you come to this opportunity to explain a bit about how you can automate, let's assume this format of data that you have it on a regular basis, and you don't want steps that you'll be applying on those data sets, and you don't want to be. One thing that you just do, I'll just give a hint about it. Is just that cleaning step. You come, and when you come here, you see there are some things like codes here, Abby. Codes and the rest here. So these are key to actually create the. So what you have to do is that you copy these steps, codes that you have copied, that you are now going to use. That is what, anytime you now have a new data set, settings on them. After that, you are through with cleaning for this particular data set. The next thing we are going to do is we are to close it, and we'll come, and we are going to close and load, or close and load too. Now is asking us, do you want to load it as a table in your Microsoft Excel sheet? So you know the way we normally have table. So if you click table, you are going to see it as a table. Do you want to perform further analysis and take it to a pivot table report? Do you want to do visualization and take it to a pivot chart? Do you want to only create connection and add it? If you are clicking only create connection, you are going to add it to a data model. Maybe you want to, from here, you want to now move it into Power BI for visualization. So you can choose any of these, but just to show us, let me just move it to Power Pivot Reports. Then you click, you don't need to add to data model here if you don't want to. Then you click OK. You can see now that we have our data in our pivot table. So from here, you can actually do any other analysis you want to do. Maybe you want to check the country with the highest number of GDP or something. So you can do those analyses from there. But because this class is not about pivot table, I would like to just hang it here. So, and after that, if you want to save, you can come here, come and save as whatever name you want to save it as, you can save it and you can continue working on your data from there. So before I proceed to the second data set that I will be using for this analysis, I would like to ask, do we have any question before we proceed? Please, I would like a yes. Talking to myself. Thank you.
No question from here.
All right. I'll go to the next data. I'll just close this. I really don't. going to save with my pivots. So now I want it to be a bit interactive from here. Another data into my Power Query editor. I don't know if there is anyone that can take us through how we'll go about it. So please, can you take us through how we'll go about that? Anybody?
I think for the new data, you should import it into this Excel.
Okay, I should start from Excel, right from the Excel, right? I shouldn't start from get data, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you can get the data from, okay, on the data tab on the Excel to bring it into the Excel, I think. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
but are you saying that? Yeah, no, you file, so Excel. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I said. I'm not sure it's correct.
No, you are 100% correct. That is just what you do in a folder. Like I said, maybe you have a folder that contains different 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 data.
From
You can also use from folder here. So probably I should just take it directly from the data, right?
yes,
Andrew.
yes,
Okay, so
yes,
let's
I can
go
hear you.
from
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
starting from the scratch here.
yeah.
Okay, so fortunately for me, my data is right here on my screen. Okay, so this is just like, how would I put it? It's not, how do I put it? This is just like a dummy data set just to explain this concept anyway, but we can get a lot of explanations from here. So this is my data that I have in Microsoft Excel, just like you have it. You can have it, you can have your data in Microsoft Excel. So now you want to move it to Power Query. It's very simple. So the only thing you just have to do is you still have to come to your data tab, then come to get data. Not getting it from Power Query editor, where you have launch Power Query editor. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. There is still something that can. So we can see from here that queries. That means Power Query editor recognize our data and is way out about it. Just come to where you have come to new data source. So when you have been working on other, maybe you have a lot of data you want to combine or merge together. So instead of you to start from get data and the rest, you can just come from this home tab and go to new data source. Then you still select the way it is from Excel. Then you come to, I think this data is in my download. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So it's asking me, what do I want to? I think I only have one sheet there. Okay. So this is the sheet where I have my data. Then I'll click on OK. Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay, so instead of having sheets 1 year, like I said, you can rename these particular sheets. So I can come here and rename it and call it sales data, call it customer data. Click your enter. So this is the name of the company, the contact name, their email address, their phone numbers, and I'm having column 6 here. I don't know why it's empty. Then I have the gender here. So my first business is to make sure that I'll remove this column because it's not doing anything for me. So from here, I have some analysis I want to do. So, and the first is that where I have my gender, I have F, M, M. So which is obvious that F means female and M means male. So in case you want to replace this text, you just come to your gender and click on it. You right click and you click on what is the value you want to find. Replace female. Then so everywhere you have F, you have female. To do the same process, values. So you replace it with a click OK. This is phone number and our data is which is not correct. So you can actually change this. Oh, okay, it's giving me an error. Sorry. So it's giving me an error because of these other hyphens and the rest that are there. But if we want to clean it, we can actually remove all these brackets that are there. We can remove all these hyphens and the rest. So let me just try it and show us. So the same thing we'll do here. We'll come here and do replace values. So we have open brackets, replace it with nothing. We'll repeat it again. Close brackets, replace it with nothing. It's nothing. Data, we still have an empty space we don't want. So even if I come here and I put it as O number, it's still going to give me error because it is not because of the space that is there. So how can I change this? I'll still come and replace. I've not tried this before, but let me see whether it will work. This space.
It's Phil.
All right. So it has actually take out the space. So that means what I did is a data set and I convert this number into a whole number. So you can see that we have it as a whole number. I'm just showing us this. It's practically not probably what we need to do, but I'm just showing you so that in case you have issues like that. So from what we had earlier on, we now have like from text, we have converted our data type into number. So also here we have contacts. We have Samantha Reynolds and the rest and the likes. So I want to know their first name and their last name. So why do you need to do some of these things? At times, maybe let's assume all these people work in the same company. For them, you can't start picking out the names one after. You can easily do that. So what can you do? Now you come to your add column, choose column from examples. This is doing for you. Then you select from selection. What this wants to do for you is that column 1. So what do I need to do now? I'm now writing Samantha. Just make sure that then I click enter. What did you notice? Hi everyone, can you see me? What did you notice? Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but earlier on your connection was breaking, so we could barely follow up.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I'll just do that again. What I did. So I was trying to name of all these my contacts. Try and get the last name now so that we can use that as an example. Meter, split column, or the rest. I just want, because Power Query to do the job for me. So by the time I give, it's going to complete the job for me. So I click on, I come to my add column and I examples, then from selection. So it's telling me from this column 1, it says to create a new column. Apply. So I want to enter the last name. So what do? I'll just Reynolds and I click enter. So you can see from here that you have like it's picking the last names. It's picking the last name for other rows too. For Thompson, for Lewis, for Carter, for Lee, for Turner, and the rest. So if it's the first name I want, what I will just have to do is I'll click here and I pick Samantha. I type in Samantha. Okay. So I'll come here and press OK. So it has done that for me. So, but the name is answering text between. So I can come here and rename it to first name. So whatever I want to do here, but because, okay, I create. So I can change this to first name. Then any other thing that we've talked about, the changing of data type, so I can also trim excess spaces. So transform, where's this transform? Trim. So I can also clean it and do the other things that we have done there. So basically, that is where I'm going to in. And like I said, all these steps that you have taken, you can even check it to create. So this is like your data tree, and every other steps that I've taken will be recorded in my advanced editor. Everything that I've done is here. And if I need to automate it, this is just what I'm going to be copying, and I'll be saving it, and I'll be using it for further analysis. So thank you very much for listening to us this evening. If you have any question, I would like to take your questions. But before I take your questions, I would like to tell you once again about our upcoming data analytics class that is starting next week, Saturday. So the course is starting on the 6th of April. It's going to last for 10 weekends, and we are Saturdays and Sundays. The price for the class is 200,000. Early bird fee has closed, but the installment payment is still on. You can still make your payment in installments if you want to. And we are going to be learning Microsoft Excel. Power Query is one of the things we are going to be learning in the Microsoft Excel. This masterclass is just a tip of the iceberg. You know, it's just like a taster section. There is much more to learn in Power Query. This is not all about Power Query. It's just like a taste. So in the data, be teaching you how to really automate your data cleaning process. All those formulas, those codes I showed you, we are going to be teaching you how you copy those codes and how you are going to do one or two other things to make sure that you can transform them, how you can do your data to a data model. You are going to be learning advanced Power BI, and also, and that is not the end. We are also going to be teaching you free. You are going to learn, be a freelancer. You don't want to be working, tired of this 9 to 5 job. You just want to your job to involve that you be the controller of your own time. So you can learn about freelancing and how you freelancer. So you are going to be learning about that. Our certificate is a CPD accredited. Use this place of work. Let them know that, oh, you are actually developing your. Please, you can visit the website, our website at the chat room to learn more about the course. So thank you very much for joining us once again, and questions from here, if we have any. So should I take the no response as the fact that we don't have any question? Any
Uh,
question, please?
no, we don't have any questions, Nick, or I don't have any question. I think maybe as
Okay,
like,
but do you understand?
yeah, I get the idea of what you are trying to show. I get the idea, but I think maybe as we practice more, when we actually, hopefully everybody's coming to the class, when we actually get into the class and we do hands-on, maybe we'll get better at it. Because Excel things can
Yes,
be really, not easy to understand from just explanation and
yes,
demonstration, really. Yeah.
yes. You have to do the hands-on. When you are in the class, one of the things we are going to be doing in class is that we are going to be having hands-on sections, opportunity for you to practice whatever you have learned in the class, ask your question right in the class. So you don't have to get back questions. We have channels where you can ask your questions as possible. Very much. any other thing to add before we close the session for this evening? Hi, Tayo. All right. So we are just about ending the section when you joined us. You are on our mailing list so that you'll be recordings of this section. So later have the recordings on our YouTube channel so you can watch it this evening. I really appreciate your time. Please enjoy your weekend. I think this is Easter weekend that we just this section, and enjoy your weekend and your holiday. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, Adenike.
Thank you.
Righty.
Bye.
Bye.